Hello everybody, welcome back. DJ Vic Vapor with you. Lesson 3, I believe, on our advanced simpler sampler tips. Thanks for joining and following along. Hopefully I'm giving you some inspiration or teaching you a few things you didn't think about on your own. But let's take a look at, we've looked at pitch with beats, pitch with our piano, but let's take a look at modulating pitch over the two bars and using it on a vocal sample. Let me play the sample I've got here for you. I'm going to turn the beats off. Okay, so I've got that triggered by a bunch of different little notes here, just sliced up, slice mode, and it's just jumping around triggering. But what I want to do is, over the course of the two bars, I want to hear the pitch rise. And one of the ways we can accomplish that is I'll open this boy up here, and then we can take a look at our LFO. Let's give it 100% on the pitch again. But I don't want it to necessarily go up and down like a sinusoidal wave. I want it to start at the bottom, rise all the way through the two bars, and then start over with the two bars. So what we want there is the sawtooth going from down to up and then stopping and then starting over again. But I want to do that over the course of two bars. So in order for me to do that over a course of two bars, I have to select the musical note, and then I have to select the 2-bar range right here in this box. There's 1 bar, 1.5, and there's 2. So now it's going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, all that good stuff. Let's take a listen to what we've got so far with this setting. Okay, so it's kind of working, but there's still some adjustments we can make here to help ourselves. It's not really going a full 2 bars and then coming back around for us. And the reason is because the R right here stands for retrigger is engaged. So essentially it's just going up, down, and it's being re-triggered to start over before the 2-bar cycle is finished. So let's take that off and take a listen to it. All right, so still a little bit of work to be done there. So what we need to do now is figure out, well, first of all, let me play the beats with this and explain what I'm hearing and what we need to accomplish. The actual pitch isn't really following the beat due to the fact that when you have a retrigger engaged and you disengage it, it's gonna start from wherever it was disengaged and cycle back through from that point. So it's not necessarily going to start at the beginning of the bar. It could be starting anywhere it was released from, and then it cycles over that time frame of 2 bars, whatever you want to have set down here, and it starts over. So it's not really in sync with our bars. It's just playing from wherever we released it from. Now I can try to sync it up manually by simply just playing this and turning it on and off and maybe getting close. So let's try that. And I'll wait for a beginning of a bar, and then I'll turn it off. But that's still not a very accurate way to really work at it. So what can we do to solve that problem? Well, the best way to do it is, now that this is the last thing that I was manipulating, the on and off button for the retrigger, I can go into the clip now and actually automate that. So let's take a look at where we can do that at. What we want to do is hit the E here to engage our envelope, and then you can see I've got the L retrigger currently in the off position. I believe that's where we left it. Yes, it's currently in the off position. Go back to the clip. So here it is right here. And I want it to be off all the way up until the end, essentially. And then I want it to turn on and then, you know, cycle back through while it's on for the 2 bars and then turn off at the end of the 2 bars. So let's leave it in the off position and let's put it, we'll try right here maybe for on. Right in there somewhere should work for us. Let me do one other thing. Disengage this for a minute. Let's just go. I'm going to put all the notes on C3 so we get a little bit better example of that pitch moving up and then cycling back for us. By having the variation of notes, I don't think it was actually doing exactly what we wanted to accomplish. So now we're in a pretty good place. What you can hear now is, let me go back to this screen. You can hear it starting down here nice and low on the pitch, that real deep, you know, sound, and then the voice pitch will rise all the way up, and then when it gets to the end of the 2 bars, which we have engaged here, it'll drop, and then it'll start over again with the 2 bar cycle. So kind of picture this ramp up and then drop, ramp up and drop. Picture it in your mind as you're listening to the sound. And of course we've got the retrigger off all the way up until the end of the 2 bars, just before maybe say like the 4th beat there, and then it engages on so that when it recycles back, it's, you know, it's starting at the beginning of the loop. So let's take a listen. Can you hear that low? And up it rises to high. Low. And up it rises to high. And it's in tune with our loop. So that's a way to take the LFO and manipulate the pitch and allow that to happen over a 2 bar or whatever length you want, really. I mean, up to what it'll allow you here in the box. I don't know what the maximum is. Looks like 8 bars is your max. So we were working with 2, but you can manipulate. We were working with pitch. You can manipulate your filter, your pan, and your volume. All that stuff can be worked with in that manner just by going into the clip and engaging it within the clip. And just as a hot tip, remember that retrigger is very important to where it starts and stops. So let's move on to the next lesson and see what else we can accomplish.